Welcome back to Real Life Bodybuilding, episode 2. Back to another Q&A. I'm Jeremy Fox, and I'm joined by Tyler Wilson, and we're going to go over a few questions and give you our best answers. Do you want to start first?
Oh, you have them also. You might just.
Okay. I've got a few here. So Chris Bean 83 asks, "Are you going to compete in another bodybuilding show when it's safe to do so?"
Yes.
I assume that's directed at me, but
Yeah.
yes. It'll probably be more than likely in the spring. Next fall is kind of off limits because I'm getting married, so it's a bad time to have a show.
Yeah,
but
or a good time to have a show.
Not a good time to have a show. So yeah, probably looking at like the spring. We'll probably start prepping right for Christmas. Should be in a pretty good spot anyway, so prep should be a breeze. I'm already like 8 weeks out conditioning right now, or 10 tops, so yeah, should be pretty easy.
I feel the same way. Mine is basically either fall or spring of next year, whichever one works best. If I'm big enough by this winter, we'll start around December, January-ish. If not, we'll start prep later in 2021. It basically is, we're not really concerned with the I guess health.
No, we're definitely concerned with health.
Well, yeah.
You're talking about Corona health?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
Corona health. I think shows will be back on next year easily.
Yeah. This year is kind of just like.
Yeah, they just throw it out.
Yeah, it's just went down the drain. So.
But I mean, that might make shows next year way better. So.
I think it's going to.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna be a lot more stacked.
Yeah.
So if you win a show next year, then it's probably means you're pretty good.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, hopefully. But some shows will still be weaker. But yeah, we're both planning on getting on stage. You don't have to beg me to get on stage. Mr. Prep every 2 weeks likes to change his mind.
No, I'm in. I would have been in this year if it wasn't for the cancellation of shows and not the uncertainty of knowing if shows are going to go on.
I want to prep soon, so I hope that everything's good by December-ish to start prep around December. Or maybe just cleaning things up more by December.
Just transition into something else later. At this rate, you're going to need to like do 24-hour fast like place throughout your plan right now because you don't want to eat. Yeah.
Today was a little bit better. I've been having problems eating. I'll get on I'm eating a lot of food, thanks to him.
It's a pretty good amount.
Yeah. So I'll get on a roll and like just be able to house food for a few weeks, and then I'll just like stall really bad and not be hungry at all, not even want to like look at food, even if it's something that's like really good looking and tasting. I just don't want it. Last night I got hungry and I had some meals in, and today I've gotten my meals in, so it's picking up. Sometimes I just need even if it's just like a 12-hour break of not eating, just like
eating five meals instead of 6 for one day.
Even if it's just like not eating until you get like semi-hungry for the day, that helps me a lot sometimes, instead of just like pounding food right when you wake up.
I got a diet question, so I want to I'll let you do yours next, but I want to talk more about your diet on the diet question.
Okay.
Because it kind of relates to the way that you're dieting right now.
Okay. But for that question, we both plan on getting on stage again. Hopefully as soon as possible. For both of us, yeah. If all goes as planned, we'll both be doing spring shows. Yeah.
Clean house, hopefully.
Yeah. He'll be prepping while prepping me, so that should be interesting.
Yeah, we just can't do the same show. Well, I guess we could.
We could do the same show.
I mean, we would both be there, so why not? Right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I'm down.
Yep. All right.
You want me to get the next one up?
You have mine too.
Yeah.
Let's do the last one.
The last one?
No, let's do that one.
This one here?
Yeah.
How do you pronounce that last name? I don't want to butcher something.
It's Casey Stingle.
Stingle? Okay.
Yeah.
Why do bodybuilders get spray tans?
Do you want me to go?
You can fire on it, yeah.
All right. Well, basically, because most stage lighting is super, super, super bright.
Yeah.
And if you're not tanned to like a very high degree, your body will just wash out. You lose all the lines.
You look like a sheet of paper.
Yeah, you look, when people say soft, nothing pops. You don't like if you stood someone that didn't tan versus someone that did tan. Even if they were the exact same people, it would look totally different. I'd say that's the main thing. It's not fun. It's not a fun part of it. Like if we didn't have to do it, like we wouldn't do it. You smell horrible.
It's awkward getting a spray tan for one.
You're sticky. Yeah, it's
the coldest experience ever too.
Yeah, it's not warm.
Yeah, it's like getting hit with like Freon. Like it's
yeah, you're
like,
standing there with no clothes on, and they're spraying you with a gun.
At most, you're wearing a sock. So I mean,
yeah, that is
your backside's completely.
If you're in bodybuilding,
yeah,
classic, you can do. You can wear boxers.
But yeah, if you look at someone, not even related to like spray tan, but if you look at someone tan versus someone that's like extremely pale, the person, they could be the same conditioning, but the tan person will look much leaner just because they have like more of a shadow on their skin, so they'll look more separated, more vascular, everything. And
everything will be better if you're tan.
A perfect example is Hunter Labrada and Ian Bellier. They're both super pale. They're both super peeled all the time, but they don't look as lean because.
And that's why sometimes Hunter looks way better in his pictures than Ian does, because the lighting is way better for Hunter than Ian's pictures are. Mm-hmm. So because they're similar like looks and everything like that, but yeah, that's the main thing. It's just you get washed out and you wouldn't see everything that you've like worked for forever.
Right.
Which would suck. So
the worst thing you can do is not be prepared and get a bad tan, or try to cheap out and do it yourself.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Just pay Liquid Sunrays. That's not
like
plug, but
it's like $130.
Yeah, either just have someone professional do
Liquid
it.
Sunrays or Pro Tan. They're at all the shows.
All the local shows usually run with them. I think LSR goes for most national shows, don't they?
Yeah, I've only used them.
That's been my favorite so far. Let's see. I got. So this is more on the dieting side of things. Andrew J. Harris 91 asks, I've seen you talk about this some, but what is the benefit of mixing in the high food days? So what he's referring to is I post a lot of my food on Instagram, and there'll be days where I'm eating hardly, nothing, very low carb, and then I'll sprinkle in a high day, and it'll look like I'm bulking. Because carbs will be over 400 grams. For me, that's pretty high. For you, that's like a low day.
That's my low day.
So the same thing with him. He's eating about 1,000 grams of carbs on his high day. And he has 2 high days a week. So the point of that is, if you look at it as far as like an average weekly, look at it like a budget.
Yeah.
So like throughout the week, you have X amount of carbs on average. But some days, when you want to utilize more carbs, like say on a leg day or whatever lagging body part, most of the time it's legs for 90% of people.
For me.
For literally almost everybody. I have it on a chest day, weirdly. But so you'll have, like say for him, 1,000 grams of carbs 2 days. But then 2 other days or 3 other days, he might have 500 grams of carbs, and then he'll have some low days that might be 250 to 300. So average through his, I think I averaged yours, and they were like 550 grams average the week. And then with mine probably is 2 to 250 average per week, but we're obviously in different phases. So what it does is it actually, on those days, it kind of upregulates your metabolism. And a lot of people, it shows in studies that if you have, say, like one high day, it's not really as beneficial as having like consecutive high days. So with that like up and down effect, it keeps your body from adapting to say, if you have 300 grams of carbs every day, your body's going to be like adapted to 300 grams of carbs. So what can you do from that point? You have to drop them to 250 or 275, and then your body gets used to that. But with carb cycling, which is what he's referring to, you have a spike of 1,000, 500, 250. These are fat burning days.
Yeah.
And then you get back up to your training days where you can actually.
It's also easier to manipulate the diet that way, especially when going into a prep. I mean,
off season or prep, it's very optimal.
You're gonna probably pull food from the high day first, obviously. So that high day can be pulled from for weeks and weeks before you really mess with anything else, and then you're still progressing there. So
another good way to do it is if you're having, say, for his purpose here, He's trying to put on weight, and appetite is becoming an issue. So for these low days, they give him his stomach a break, his digestion system, so he can actually look forward to that high day. Because he's having 250 grams on a low day, and then he's like, wow, I'm pretty hungry for this next day.
Yeah.
Boom, high day, perfect time to have it. And then on the other end of things, you completely bypass that whole adaptation phase. So, and then we'll probably, honestly with you, instead of like pulling your high day down like you said, we might add a low day. So instead of like, so right now you're at 3 because you're training 4 days a week, but if you were to say do 5 days a week of training, you're having 2 low days, the first change to his diet, other than maybe cardio added in, would be to do 3 low days, but keep the 2 high days in, and then we could stagger those things around and just change them up.
Yeah, that would work.
So, because your average will come down.
I'm ready to prep. I'm tired of
eating.
I'm ready to prep.
So, I'll let you get this next one here.
Dill in the Ville.
Dill in the Ville.
Essential supplements for newbies. We kind of touched on this last week, but
kind of already.
I'd say like a creatine product is usually good unless you're against it, which some people are. They think it's gonna slap on 80 pounds of water, which it doesn't. Quality protein, a pre-workout, because people like using them. Other than that, like vitamins and stuff like that.
And then if you're doing like intra-workout, you can add in an amino acid.
Yeah, aminos are good, and carbs are good intra. It helps with recovery quite a bit. You feel better. You don't crash mid-workout, which a lot of those pre-workouts that people like will make happen. And intros are a really good idea if you're really trying to train. If training is like something that you're really focusing on, it's a big one.
Storming.
Then an intro is a very, very good idea. It's going to make the sets at the end of the workout not be as dreadful. Not even dreadful. Just you're not going to be as empty, like food wise, and because you're basically feeding through the workout with an intro. You also don't have to rush to a meal right after your training if you have an intro.
So you mean you don't have to do the anabolic window?
No, if you have an intro, you don't have to drink a protein shake as soon as you get in your car.
You don't go catabolic, though, is what you're saying?
No.
Okay. So I won't lose all my gains if I don't have a shake post-workout?
I mean, it depends. Depends on your genetics.
Another thing to look at is with the essential amino acids. The difference between that and BCAAs, obviously, branched chains are part of essential amino acids. There's just 3 of the amino acids of the total non. But the way to look at it is BCAAs are actually like an energy source. So you've got leucine to trigger and turn on muscle protein synthesis, but without the building blocks, you're not going to rebuild anything. So you need to have all of the essential aminos to actually recover. And when you're working out, you think of it as you're digging a ditch. So instead of digging the ditch super deep, having those essential aminos with the leucine to trigger and turn on protein synthesis, it kind of gets the rebuilding already happening. So when you get done and you get your post-workout meal in and you get the following meals throughout the day and the next day, you're recovering. So the next time you train that body part in 2 to 3 days, 4 days, then you're good to go.
Yep, absolutely. This one's mainly for me because I'm kind of younger. This was from Blake Godwin.
It definitely reflects on both of us on this one, though, for sure.
How has bodybuilding at your ages affected you socially? Do you let missing out on social events get you down? Quick answer for probably both of us. No, not really.
But it doesn't get you down missing out on events? I think it depends on where you are in your journey. Like, for him, he has aspirations to be a pro bodybuilder.
Yeah.
I realistically don't care. So for me, missing out on events is, I don't enjoy that. Yes.
Really?
Yeah, it definitely. Like, I'm not saying like it doesn't make you soft if you like.
No, I get that. I was just saying I wouldn't have expected you to say that.
Yeah, I definitely missed out like on like my niece's birthday party is coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
And I can't have cake. I mean.
Okay.
It's like a social event.
I'm talking about like. okay, there's a party and you can't go because you're in prep. Like
I'm boring, so I don't go to parties.
That's what I'm. So that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
But as far as like going to like family get-togethers and things like that. No, I get
it. But when I'm at like a family thing and they're like, "Why can't you eat?" That sucks.
Yeah, that's something that you hear a lot when you're doing bodybuilding, or if you're just a fitness person just trying to get in shape and you're
especially if you're halfway new to it, because people don't really understand it yet.
It's weird.
They want to question you on everything you do. Like
it's almost taboo.
They look down on you almost.
So when you come in with your chicken and rice and your Tupperware,
right.
They're like, "Why can't just a little bit of this one and won't hurt you?" I mean, it's like that little bit is like 1,000 calories, and that's gonna make me lose 3 days progress because I'm so tightly wound that you know.
No, yeah. No, I get that. Yeah, but like, what is it? All right.
He said more or less like, "How has it affected you socially?"
I think he's also talking about like.
Social events.
Do you feel like awkward out in public now? Sometimes. I'm starting to.
You mean like if you're in like the store and people look at you?
I'm starting to.
I've got that for a little while now.
I'm starting to get bigger, and I'm starting to like be noticed more, I guess. Other people that I'm like with will notice it before I do, kind of, because I try not to like look for it because it kind of freaks me out. But when someone's like, hey, they're like staring at you, it's like, no, they're not. Because I still don't feel like...
You don't feel like you're actually getting looked at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to think that, like, I'm noticeably bigger than someone else.
I mean, my fiance actually points it out. She's like,
yes.
Did you see the way that girl or that guy looked at you?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I didn't even notice. And she's like, they looked at you like like they never seen a person before, more or less. And it's like, I actually avoid wearing like tank tops.
I would not wear this if I'm going anywhere.
I mean, there's sometimes where I go to the store like after working out and I'm wearing a tank top and I'm like I almost dread it because
I'd bring something else probably.
Do you have a lot of people like ask you questions while you're out? Like, oh, do you work out a lot? Like,
yeah, I've had people like get my information for training and then like never contact me.
Oh yeah.
Or like them get my number and then just never contact me. But yeah, it's always the whole, since I'm younger, it's the, do you play football? You play football?
Yes.
Where you play football? Where you wrestle at? It's like, nah, I do like bodybuilding competitions. Like,
They're like, oh, you mean like the heavy weightlifting? I'm like, no, like the get in a thong on stage one.
Yeah. But no, socially it is weird. I will say I don't like showing it off really. I wouldn't say that.
It's weird if you think about it because we work really hard to look a certain way, but then we don't want people to see us look that certain way out in public. So it's kind of like a mind game, isn't it? In a way.
It is because, I don't know. When I was like 2 years ago, if you asked me if I was this big, if I'm gonna be walking around in a tank top everywhere, I'd have been like, oh yeah,
definitely, yeah,
everywhere,
showing everybody.
And now it's just like, no, like. Even training, I don't wear like stuff like that a lot. Here and there, but no, absolutely, it definitely messes with you when you're getting a little bit bigger and you start noticing it. Because I like to think that I look like everyone else.
Yeah.
When people tell me that I don't.
It's like the transitional phase of like going from looking like an average Joe to like you're in between looking like that and a pro. So it's like. Where do I like fit in?
Yeah, it's like
you stand out.
You can definitely tell that I train and stuff when you see me in person. Like no matter what I'm wearing, but it is weird to think about it that way, and I don't like thinking about it, to be completely honest, because then I feel like you don't feel arrogant, but like
it's almost like you're afraid to like be like, oh yeah, I work out 6 days a week and I work super hard and I diet like so regimented, because it's almost like me when you start talking that way.
Yeah,
you almost feel like you're too like cocky to even say anything. It's like just do the work and be quiet about it.
Yeah,
that's how you feel.
But other than the other part of the question, I mean, just what was it? Missing out on things. I don't really. At first, I definitely
get you down. Like
at first, yeah, for sure. Like
it depends on the event, I think too.
Yeah, like my first, when I get in prep, I'm kind of like locked in. I kind of really don't. I stop caring about like things like that. But I don't really let it get to me at all anymore, because I don't really, like he said, like we don't really do.
We're not like frequent partiers every weekend, and then we're like, oh well.
Even if like my friends are like going somewhere to a party, or they're having people over for like a get together or something, like I'll go, but like I'm not staying past like a certain time.
Or you're not drinking and eating like nachos and chips.
Right. Well, maybe eating nachos and chips, but probably not drinking. Right now, maybe eating nachos and chips.
You probably don't want nachos right now.
Nah, my appetite's coming back. It is. That's how weird it is. Like, I've eaten my meals today. So, I mean, it's a good thing. But, no, I don't let it get to me anymore for sure. I kind of just... I value my sleep a lot. And
you prioritize everything differently.
Yeah.
Because you have a goal in mind.
Yeah, and I'll get like super anxious if like I know I'm not gonna sleep enough, or if I know that like I'm not gonna sleep well. So like I don't spend the night anywhere anymore. Like friends will be like, hey, do you wanna like come over and spend the night? And it's just like, I don't wanna be like mean, but like no. Like absolutely not, I don't wanna sleep on your couch.
How do you feel when you have to go like off of your routine? Like say, like if there's a trip, you have to go like a trip. Like
I haven't done one of those in a long, long time.
So like say you have to go, like I'll use my example. For this Saturday, I'm going to my hometown and I'm going to be spending time with family, but I'm going to be getting down there kind of late. So my meals are going to be like tightly like stretched. They're going to be like stretched out like 3.5 hours between meals. So I can like have my morning like cardio and workout and then go throughout my day, and I only have 6 meals, so it's like if I'm up for 20 hours and I have 6 meals.
Wait. So why are they going to be spaced out like that?
Because I'm getting up early to go like train and get everything done here, and then I'm going to be, it's a 4-hour drive there and back.
Okay.
So we're going to have like that whole like super stretched out long day, so I'll be getting up at maybe 7 or 8 o'clock and won't be home until 10 or so, like say.
Oh, so you're not staying the night or anything?
No.
Oh, okay.
But it'd be a long day, social event around a lot of people. There's, you know.
Yeah, I'd be like dreading it. The whole time.
I kind of do dread like the thought of like doing.
It's just that it's
like,
not even the thought of
your
going.
routine.
It's not even the thought of going because you want to go and you like want to see certain people, but then it's just like the monotony of like doing it all, and then you're having the same conversations, and then they're asking you why you're eating, and then just all this, just all these things that are, they happen every single time you do it, and it's just like, I've told you this before. This is what I do.
My family isn't like that so much because I've been doing it for so long.
Mine's not either, but I'm saying even
but new people that you're around, it's like,
yeah.
It's like, why is that dude eating out of a Tupperware bowl and he's like, when we're all eating hot dogs? It's like,
yeah.
Well, look at that guy. He looks different than you.
Right.
So he's not eating a hot dog.
Yeah.
You know.
Another thing like my family kind of does is like, even if we're all together, like having like a big meal, it's gonna be fairly good. I mean, sometimes obviously it's burgers and fries, and honestly, right now, I'm eating the burger and fries. You did shut up.
That's why your digestion's crap right now. And you
Oh yeah.
Gosh.
But
firing you as a client.
Fire me, yeah, he fired me. But yeah, I mean, events are definitely looked at differently now. Like I'll get anxious before going places just because it's like,
you almost get stressed because you know you have to like, if you're like me, I'm kind of OCD anyway.
Yeah.
So I need to like take my supplements at a certain time in the morning, or it throws me off for the day, or I need to have a meal at like 7:30 and then I have to have one at 10.
You're way more like that than me.
I've always been like that since I've started, so.
I get like that really good during prep, but my off season is a little bit more laid back than that.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I'm still
I think it's because I almost picture it as, it's not really on or off season, it's just a lifestyle transition.
Yeah, no, I get that.
So it's like, you know.
No, yeah, I understand that. Yeah, that question's good.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much all of them.
That is pretty much all of them. Tampa is in 13 days from today.
We need to do like a recap video on that.
Yeah, no. Obviously,
I can say who won between Ian and Hunter and see.
I'd say it'll be between them anyway.
I think so.
I'm ready to watch it. They'll probably live stream it, I'd say, especially they live stream it with probably little to no audience.
Yeah, I think it's going to be limited on the crowd.
Yeah.
From what I hear, but I don't know for sure. They haven't announced anything.
It should be a fun one. I mean, they're gonna.
But in 2 weeks, I don't think they're gonna cancel.
They'd have the competitors there. But yeah, I mean, I'd say an Ian takes it.
It's gonna be good.
Say Hunter impresses a lot of people.
I think it's going to be like everyone's going to be shocked that it's as close as it is, but I still think Ian's going to edge him out. Just because of the whole like muscle maturity and density factor.
They were talking about that on the podcast.
Yeah.
Ian was saying, he was just like, I can be a 10 out of 10. Like,
but you're a 9.5 out of 10. I'm a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, so he was just like, I just have that many more years on you. Because they're Hunter's 28 and Ian's 29.
But the training age is different.
But yeah.
One's been training for like 10 or 12 years.
Ian turned pro at like 23. And Hunter turned pro at 26.
Right.
And
was
then,
like a year
and hasn't competed since.
I had the injury and then come back and put on like 25 pounds of stage weight. In one season.
He's up 25 pounds.
Yeah. So,
and leaner.
Yeah. Much leaner. So he's actually probably gained 30 pounds of tissue.
He looks really good. Yeah, it should be very interesting. It'll be nice to have some shows again to watch. Hopefully the Olympia happens. I mean, did you see it? Apparently, from Generation Iron, which is not a reputable source, and I don't even follow them anymore, Phil Heath's name is on the Olympia qualified list. Because
he already won. So
I know, but they made a little post about it. So, I don't know why they put his name back on the list, but
I think it's always on. He just either does or doesn't.
It's always on. That means every freaking.
I mean, he's been winning since 2011. He's been qualified since 2009.
So, yeah, since his first one. But I mean, that doesn't mean that.
Well, if you're on the qualification list, it's because he's won.
I know that.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that but he hasn't won for 2 years now. Why would they still have him on the list? They don't have Jay on the list.
That's true.
He's still qualified.
Yeah. Well, Ronnie Coleman's still
qualified there. He could be up there. He could roll in and like do the double.
It's not cool.
But like, I mean, yeah.
I guess that's a good point.
Yeah.
But it was recent that he competed last.
Fairly.
And I think it's like one of those like.
I'm saying he can still beat everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Potentially.
He definitely could. He could come in downsized with his waist tight and still beat everybody.
Well, downsize is still 250, so.
Yeah, probably.
245, 250, so.
Yeah. Nuts. There we go.
Let's wrap it up. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you next episode.